Welcome to Just the Tip. So last time we left off with Aisha saying she was going to make me watch the Coachella, the special, the B special. What's it called? The thing?
It's literally called Homecoming.
Homecoming. And
also known as Beachella.
I gotta say,
also known as #BeforeILetYouGo challenge.
I was making fun of the Bey Hive. I wasn't making fun of it, but now
you didn't understand.
Now I think I might have gotten stung.
You kind of know the choreo, bits and pieces.
I think I got stung.
You got stung by the bee?
I think I got stung. I think I'm in the Bey Hive.
So what was your perspective of the Netflix special? If you have not watched it, please just stop listening to this shit because this podcast is minuscule in comparison to Beyonce. So stop what you're doing, go watch it, come back. Okay, now press play. And Mike, what did you think of watching it?
Okay, so I paused. I went and watched it. I came back.
You watched it twice. I think I tried to make you watch it.
I watched it more than twice probably.
Now it's your punishment. When you do stuff, I'm like, I'm going to make you watch Homecoming.
I've seen it too many times now. I think it's like an experience. I mean, it's not a concert. It's not a dance show. It's an experience.
Fucking history.
It's really amazing.
What do you think about Beyonce being able to see the behind the scenes of like a glimmer, or like a glimpse, I should say, into her process?
Yeah, I mean the fact that they put like 8 months of prep into a 2-hour show, it shows. I mean, it's flawless.
Baby, I'm so proud of you right now. She is a queen. And watching the dedication and discipline that she has for her craft is so inspiring. And watching someone who can lead while also inspiring others around them to bring their best, it's so beautiful to see.
Yeah, and she's like positioned herself to benefit too. Like
bring everyone around her up.
To not be owned by a studio.
It's so fucking amazing. Do you know what Ivy Park is?
That's her clothing line.
Do you know who she's partnered with now?
Reebok?
Adidas? Reebok is who fucked it up.
Oh, Reebok is who fucked it up. Yeah, I know why.
How did Reebok fuck it up?
Reebok fucked it up because when Beyonce walked into the meeting, she said, "Are these the people that are going to be working on my product?" And they said, "Yeah." And she said, "No one in here looks like me or represents where I come from." And so she was out.
And a few other things, but yes, she left. And that's called being a badass bitch and making boss-ass moves. And I think that what it really shines a light on is how a company can just fuck it up, like, so badly. Like, you have Beyonce's literal time, and you don't fail at what your actual pitch was and what your ideas actually were. You fail because you don't even hire to reflect the demographics, or at least fake the funk enough to bring some people into the meeting. Like,
think about for their entire career as a business, they haven't fucked it up until someone had the power, the legitimate power to actually and the mindset to say, no, y'all just fucked up.
But companies fuck up all the time, and we've seen that with Pepsi. We've seen that.
They fuck up, but people don't walk out of the room and cancel the deal.
No, they don't, because usually it takes so many consumers coming together and realizing our consumer power in doing that. But Beyonce is one person who has who has a ton of power and influence, and she was able to say for herself, make her own decision.
Yeah, and think about like with Pepsi. Like, okay, yeah, they did that. They made the ad, but what happened? Nothing.
That kind of segues me into, for those who don't know, Mike is in the process of getting his master's in nursing informatics. Also, if you know anyone who works in that industry, feel free to send us a message because he needs to build up his relationships in that space. But he is studying obesity right now. Is that like what it's about?
Yeah. That's like the class I'm in, and I have to learn about obesity right now. Yeah.
It's insane. We've been watching these documentaries on HBO called
Weight of the Nation on HBO. It's insane.
Okay, tell us a few things you learned about obesity.
Okay, so what I learned is that health problems don't just hit you in old age. Health problems originate. The early signs of heart disease can be seen in as early as 10-year-olds. Obese kids turn into obese adults, and all the heart problems and all the diabetes and everything that comes along with it starts at that age.
Which is crazy. And just seeing how the industry is regulated and how it's
not
set up.
Regulated.
Well, regulated mean in quotation marks, but it's, it's so lax, and it's really for the companies to benefit, and they're literally poisoning us, and people have access to information that's better, but because of marketing and because of, I would say, addiction, like the way that your body can react to certain chemicals in like sugary drinks, or
we're like,
it's crazy to see how we are literally opting into our own demise.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even opting in, like, we're being programmed by billions and billions of dollars worth of ads being targeted at us every single day. So, like, children almost have no choice because they're targeted with all these ads.
But parents don't have, if your parents don't have good habits, like healthy habits, you're kind of fucked. If your parents have decent habits and you have privilege to be in a school or something that you have access to information, you may do better.
Well, yeah, they can almost predict your BMI based on your zip code.
Yeah, which
so
is
lower
crazy.
socioeconomic status places are going to have higher BMIs because they don't have fresh foods available.
Right, and they
get
have
targeted
grocery
with ads.
stores, but it's almost like it's so sad to see because they prey on communities like that and then don't even offer better alternatives in the store. So it's not just, oh, we have vegetables and fruits and healthy things in this neighborhood, but these people don't buy it. It's literally, we don't even make it accessible and available and get healthy, good options to people.
And there are people, these companies that sell sugary stuff and chips and sodas and stuff, they lobby the government to stop you from being able to get access to things. They lobby the government to be able to do unregulated ads against kids.
What's one thing you've learned so far through studying obesity?
Well, the biggest shocker to me was how heart disease actually starts, and they can see the early signs of heart disease in children as young as 5 and 10 years old.
Okay, so that's one thing that shocked you. What's one takeaway that you have that people could implement immediately to improve their health?
The number one cause for obesity is pretty much sugary drinks.
Yeah.
So juice is included. Juice is just as bad as soda. Juice has...
Yeah, because it takes away the fiber. And I learned that juice is nature's way of getting you to get your fiber.
Yeah, the sweet juice in a fruit is what makes you want to go eat that fruit. But if you take all that juice out of the fruit, then there's none of that good stuff in it. It's just all the sugar.
So people can ditch their sugary drinks.
You have to.
And all you need to do is, there is no fad diet. I know that there's a lot of people out there who are keto, and keto is life right now, and continue to keep your waist tight. I'm not trying to hate on you, but all of these fad diets that are ultimately not really sustainable, the only thing you need to do is increase your fruits and vegetables, increase your water intake, make sure you're getting about at least 30 minutes of walking a day. And then if you can eliminate like sugary drinks, I don't know if I said that already, and then if you can reduce your meat that you're consuming and like fish that you're consuming, but mainly meat, you'd be okay. You'd be instantly better. And then what did they say? You'd be fucking instantly better. It's like, imagine when you wake up and have morning breath and then you brush your teeth and you're instantly better. It's like that. And then if you, what did he say? The guy said that it's a 7% rule, right? So
if you can lose 7% of your body weight,
you
drastically
change,
improve your health.
Yeah, you drastically will improve your health. 7%. People get so obsessed with the scale and so obsessed with all of these quick fixes, but if you can make those little changes, and maybe the only thing you do is say, this day, today, I'm only gonna drink non-sugary carbonated, whatever it is, I'm not gonna drink sugary drinks. Or maybe your shit is so fucked up, you're like, I'm gonna drink one less today.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's the small changes over time that make the big difference.
Yes, and the thing is being encouraged to make those small changes. Because I think when you try to change your whole fucking life in every area and your shit's a hot-ass mess, you discourage yourself, and it's hard to sustain that. But if you make little changes incrementally every single day, you're going to have progress.
Yeah, just a small change. Cut out, if you drink 2 sodas a day,
We sound super culty and inspirational. It's a little
I
creepy.
sound like my grandma, because I remember when I was a kid going to my grandma's house, and of course I was an overweight kid, and I get there, and like after the first day, she says, and I'm drinking my second or third soda for the day, and she says, how many sodas do you drink in a day? And I was like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 or 4. And she was like, okay, well, while you're here, you can only have one a day. And I was like, what?
I'm going to just say this. I wasn't there, obviously, for this conversation with his grandma, but I've, like, legit seen Mike freak the fuck out when his portions are challenged.
Yeah.
This is pre MyFitnessPal culty.
I mean, I freaked the fuck
Mike.
out when you, like, brought up to me that I should lose weight.
I didn't bring up to you that you should lose weight. I brought up to you that you had eaten strictly carbs for 3 weeks. And I was alarmed. I just for accuracy. Potatoes are his love language.
I love potatoes.
You told me I needed to lose weight. I said that you ate carbs for 3 weeks, and I was concerned after the 3rd week that you couldn't, that I wanted you to live.
Potatoes.
Okay, so, what do you think, like, is something that you've adjusted in your own life? Because I know what you told me, but I'm interested if that's what you're thinking of as well.
What are you talking about? You
told me that after watching this documentary and really studying more about obesity, you want to lose even more weight than what you've lost already.
Yeah, I want to get to the point where my BMI actually says I'm not overweight anymore. And I know that BMI is not a great indicator, but not a great indicator. My build is average enough to where I could rely on the BMI to be somewhat of an indicator.
Yeah.
But studies show that if your BMI is high, you are linked to more health problems. And so my goal is to just get to a normal BMI, and I don't need to be in the middle, but I just want to get it to where it ticks over to normal, and then I think I'll be at a healthy weight.
Snatched. You just want to be like a snack.
Yeah, I'll just be like a little side meal.
I want to be a side meal, please. No, I think it's really inspirational, and
so if I get down to 179, then I am technically in a normal BMI, and
so
statistically,
you wanted to get to 175.
That would be like kind of crazy. Because that would have been 30 pounds.
That's crazy.
So I think it's 179, and I think that'll be okay to just cruise.
Come back next week when Mike is at 163, and he's like, I just need to lose 5 more pounds.
Hungry. I'm way too hungry to weigh 160s.
Okay, so then also tonight, the biggest thing that we did was we went to Hyena Culture to watch the live stream of Stacey Abrams at Town Hall Seattle. And this was Mike's first introduction to Stacey Abrams. I just started reading her book. It's called Lead from the Outside. It used to be called Minority Leader. And not because she's actually like a minority woman, but because
she was the minority leader.
She was the minority leader. But they changed the name, which I think was a good name change. So what were your thoughts about her?
My thoughts are, I like her more than most politicians that I hear talk. She sounds genuine. She makes sense. She sounds very intelligent, and I like the way that she talks. She doesn't sound self-serving. She doesn't, when Governor Jay Inslee was up there, he's
completely self-serving. Everything was about him, his agenda, his talking points, what he wanted to hit on.
Yeah, but she's talking about how to inspire other people. And she's literally telling other people to go ahead and go run, be her competitors.
She's focused on we and us, not just I.
Yeah, and it's like so many politicians, and especially the guy who introduced her, who is running for president, he gets up there, and it's all about what I've done, and all these, and he's just throwing all this cool stuff out, but when she gets up there, she's actually encouraging other people to, hey, follow in my footsteps. Go ahead and run against me. She didn't say that, but she's encouraging people to go ahead and run. Get out there and you can do it too.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the way, I don't want to say diffuse because no one was intense or anything, but people who were having or displaying a negative train of thought, I really liked how she was able to refocus their energy and redirect the question into a positive place. She's kind of like Caesar Milan.
That's what a politician does.
No, but politicians redirect for a self-serving bullshit reason. She literally was focused on telling people, I'm going to correct what you're saying, because what you're saying, when the girl who was working with sex trafficking victims said, no one else cares. And she's like, it's not that people don't care. Mm-hmm. It's that people XYZ, and what she said wasn't lip service because we know that's true. And I think it's good to see someone actually acknowledging someone else's hurt or their emotion but redirecting that energy and really in a gentle way. Nothing about her came off as like just pushy and forceful and disingenuous. I fucking like her so far. And she, regardless of if she runs for president or not, just having it goes back to the statement, you can't be what you can't see. I think just her being herself and being visible and saying, I'm not going to change anything about how I look in order to do this job, but I am willing to compromise in other areas and hear where people are coming from. I think it means a lot for people to see her.
I like how she acknowledges the corruption, and she says, if you're doing it right, public service doesn't make you rich.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rich politicians out there who didn't even start out rich.
So as we wrap up, something I want to leave everyone with in case you were not able to hear her speak. First off, I just want to say thank you to Town Hall Seattle for responding to one of my very best friends, Natalie, when she reached out to them, because one of the women who asked a question tonight actually acknowledged that the only way she was able to attend the event is because Town Hall Seattle prioritized additional tickets for Black women. So I just think that's awesome, and I was so happy to see someone actually benefit from that. Sidebar, Natalie and I did not actually end up getting tickets because we were doing an interview when they re-released them. So that's kind of an example of something not benefiting me directly, but other people benefited from it. But anyway, if you weren't able to go there, these are the things I want to leave you with that she left us with. 1, create a circle of good. Knowing who is around you, having this inner circle of people and energy that is going to be positive and that's going to be good. She spoke about the fact that when she was running for office, knowing who her actual friends were. And so I think that's something I walked away with. 2, don't focus on the victories, focus on the values. And I think that's so many people get focused on just winning and accomplishing something or tackling a feat. They don't focus on the value of what they're fighting for. Perfection is impossible. Make space for conversation, community, and growth. I think that's amazing. Babe, you can chime in at any time, unless you're mesmerized by me.
I'm mesmerized by your notes.
4, do work that aligns with the values that drive you. Some people don't need this to be their 9 to 5 or what pays their bills, but I think that everyone should have an outlet and a resource and an access to doing something meaningful that aligns with what you believe in and where your values lie, and it's gonna make you feel better.
I'm gonna chime in on that one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing what you want to do, you're gonna be good at it. Because
but everyone doesn't want to monetize the things that bring them joy because
you don't have to monetize.
But some people don't want to turn it into a job.
Well, you don't have to.
But there's a lot of people who, if you ask them what they do and what their day and time is spent with, they wouldn't name anything that brings them pleasure because maybe they don't have the privilege to be able to have that time, or they do themselves a disservice and just forget about themselves and help everyone else but them.
Mm-hmm.
5, remember why you're doing this. And this can be whatever it is. Sometimes you'll face challenges and you have to really ask yourself, why are you doing this, and make sure that it's for a good reason. Embrace your otherness. I really like that. So often the things that make us different, people in this country and I guess in the fucking world, will use that against you and make you feel like the thing that you stand out, like what stands out about you is the problem. And those are the situations you need to get the fuck up out of super fast, because then you end up diminishing your magic. And it's usually for someone who's basic as fuck. And it's not like a situation that's like, why am I in this bullshit? That one. 7, understand what's coming and be prepared for it, and be prepared to not let it change who you are. I think it's kind of like saying if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Sidebar, people who stay in a state of constantly being ready, sometimes that's not sustainable. So I'm saying this kind of playfully in a mentally, emotionally healthy way. But if you are always assessing what challenges will be coming up for you,
I hear that as do your homework.
Do
the work.
Be prepared. Yeah. Be prepared. It's
Prepare.
kind of like any day is test day. Think about this. Beyonce can cut you at any time. I've heard she cut dancers before who thought they made it. just always know what's coming your way and be prepared for it so that when it does come your way, it doesn't change who you are at your core. Be rooted, I would say be rooted and be prepared. I really like that she said, I'm going to say something that's kind of stereotypical for a Black woman, but I stay angry. And she meant it in the way that she meant it. She gave an example of the Incredible Hulk, who would have to is he the one who said I stay angry?
I don't know.
I forgot how she fucking said this, but basically it's just she gave the example of the Incredible Hulk where you don't have to worry about getting mad, you can just get ready. You may hear in the background Khaleesi making a cameo. She went and got her bone and we can't fix that. Tell the truth and believe, because people believe the truth. And I think it's easy for people to feel compelled to have to adjust what their narrative is to fit whoever else, but make sure that you're not adjusting what the actual truth is, because people know when your shit's disingenuous and when it's not authentic and not real. You'll have to talk to people who do not like you. Yeah. You're going to have to deal with people who you don't like. So that's just a solid one that I appreciated. Keep showing up. That's something that it gets exhausting and it can get so hard to have the tenacity that you need to be able to deal with the things you're going through. But keep showing up. Babe, what do you think about this one? 12, meet people where they are, not where you want them to be.
I think that means that you would recognize the reality of where someone's at and not live in a fantasy world where they're better than they are or where they're worse than they are.
Yeah, I think it's just being honest about the tools someone has and what they're capable of, and being, I guess, giving someone grace to know that someone may be giving you the most they have to give in that area. Mm-hmm. Not to say you need to adjust what your needs are. Sometimes it's accepting that person can't meet your needs. Sidebar. And the last thing is celebrating the change. She was saying people celebrate the change now and they forget about the implementation of things. And that is so true. I think especially with us being so connected socially, things happen so quickly and it's very easy to get excited about the fact that someone did X or things have been accomplished and forget about getting excited about the implementation and the work that goes into having to get that there and keeping that same energy to see something through. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, yeah, it's keep the energy up through the hype, but then actually you have to go do the thing.
Yeah. Okay, so takeaways for this week. I just have so much energy about Game of Thrones because I know that everyone's going to be super fucking depressed come Monday morning because this past episode was reunions and feel-goods. And
what if they know that? What if they know what everyone thinks and they're setting it all up?
They have 4 episodes left. They have to do the shit. I mean, and if think about this, Cersei's not even gonna be there, so she's still gonna stay alive. We gotta see how this is gonna play out. So my wish for the week, what I'm leaving everyone with is, I really hope that you have all your snacks prepared and that you are ready for Monday morning because it's gonna be a sad one. R.I.P.
I'm going to say because, so you got trolled a lot because of you advocating for a town hall to create a space for Black women or anyone who's Black to go see the Stacey Abrams talk. So, and you got a lot of hate online for it. And a lot of white people came out and gave a lot of hate about that. And I just want to address white people in the audience. There's when a group of people has been historically disenfranchised and pushed out of spaces, you literally have to create space for them because they've been pushed out. Systems are in place to keep them out. So you have to carve out of that racist ass old system. You have to carve out the space for them. And it's not about being reverse racist. It's not about all this bullshit
You're
excuse.
using air quotes around reverse racism. Yeah. Okay.
It's not like no one's being racist against white people because they carved out a space for Black people. There was literally no space for the black people there. So they had to create a little teeny speck of space for them. So don't freak out just because people are trying to create a little sliver of justice.
I think it also goes to say there is a level of discomfort I think that people will experience with there being equality, because when I think you've had so much access and privilege, having any adjustment to what you have experienced can feel like the world is coming to an end. But you're actually, in theory, it's like someone who is so far up above everyone else having to drop down to here and being pissed. And you're like, do you know the head start that systemic racism has had for so many people?
Well, yeah, so like a white person would hear something like that and say, wait, I can't have that ticket because of my skin color. And it enrages them. And honestly, anything that pushes you out of somewhere because of your skin color should enrage you. But imagine what a black person growing up in this country has experienced their whole life, and you just got the teeniest speck of it. And how did that make you feel? And then imagine having to grow up with that feeling. Okay.
So you want everyone to do better?
Yeah, I just want like white people to think about, before they get mad, think about what's been done in the past to people who aren't white in this country, and think about what can we do to help someone out who has grown up in a system that has systematically disenfranchised them.
And continues.
And continues to.
Yeah. Oh, baby, you're like baby steps woke.
Okay, bye.
That's it?
I mean, that's it for me.
Oh, babe, you gotta that was intense. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.